Today I'd like to share with you a really simple tip that I use if I wake up in the middle of the night and struggle to get back to sleep. I think this is really poignant for people who have tinnitus, because if we're going through a bad spell like a spike, we can wake up at 2, 3 in the morning and we can start to focus on the noise, and tension can start to build up in the body, and it can become very difficult to get back to sleep. And as someone that has been through several bouts of really bad insomnia over the last 2 decades, I know the effects that it has on me. If I go through long periods of time and I'm struggling to sleep for many days in a row, I become very vulnerable, things get complicated, and it just messes my whole game up. So I'm very focused on trying to tackle this problem. In the past, I've tried several things. For example, I've tried to will myself to sleep, counting sheep, so to speak. That doesn't work for me personally because my brain starts to work too much. I'm a musician, so I start thinking of lyrics, melodies, video ideas, and I can literally lay awake for 5, 6 hours. There's been times when I've looked at the watch and it's 2, and then I look at it again and it's 7 in the morning, and you got to deal with the whole day with very little sleep. It just doesn't work. Here's what does work for me, and I want to share it with you today. Number 1, I resist the temptation of going on the phone. As tempting as it is to reach out for the phone 2, 3 in the morning, it doesn't work for me, and it doesn't work for 2 reasons. Number 1, the blue light of the phone is a stimulant, stimulates the eye, stimulates the brain, and I do not want stimulants. But most importantly, you can fall down rabbit holes that you don't really want to fall down at 2, 3 in the morning. You can come across something on social media that is emotionally engaging in a way that you don't want to be engaged at that time in the morning, or you can receive an email that's stressful from work. It doesn't work for me. I've tried it in the past, and I realized that I've been awake for way longer than I wanted to be. So I resist the temptation to reach for the phone. And tip number 2, I turn the TV on, but I turn it on in a very, very specific way. Number 1, I lower the backlight volume to the lowest possible setting. Now, my TV upstairs is old, and it's old for a reason. And the reason why is because it's not a very bright TV. In fact, when I'm staying in hotels, I often struggle because the TVs in the hotel are often really new and they're really bright. You turn it on and it's just this amazing stimulant to the eye and to the brain. I don't want that, so I keep my TV upstairs and it's old, but I still lower the backlight volume to the lowest possible setting so the light is almost inconsequential. It's important because you don't want too much stimulation. Tip number 2, I lower the volume to the lowest possible setting so that I can just about make out what's being said, but I have captions on the program. It's an interesting phenomenon. If the brain can hear something but can read at the same time, it feels like it's fully understanding what's going on. I don't want too much volume. Again, I don't want to aggravate my ears. I don't want too much stimulation, that sort of thing. Tip number 3, this is really, really important. Even though my TV upstairs is old, it's got a setting that you can set a timer on it. It's genius. It's worth the price alone. And what that means is that I can set the timer to 15, 20, 30 minutes, and that's going to shut itself off. For me, it's really important because I don't want the TV going on all night. I used to do that in the old days, but I don't want to wake up with the TV still on, because then I go through the thought process of, was it too long? Was it too loud? Was there some sharp noises in there that I shouldn't have been exposed to? I don't want that. I want to wake up knowing that the TV turned itself off very shortly after I fell asleep. So depending on how sleepy I am, if I'm very sleepy, I'll set it to 15. If I'm sort of half awake, I'll set it to half an hour, but I know it's going to turn itself off. Very important. And tip number 4, the last tip, just as important. For me, this is really, really key. I specifically choose content that is low key, low energy, low emotional engagement, almost boring, really. What I don't want are things like thrillers, dramas, horrors, news. I don't want stuff that's going to engage me. I want happy, almost boring stuff. So even if that means choosing stuff from the 90s that I've seen many times before, the goal is to have very, very low stimulation, just enough to keep the brain distracted, but not enough to actually engage the brain. So, and also of course, happy, easygoing stuff. Comedies that don't have too loud laugh tracks, for example, because that can be irritating. Stuff that is really, really calming and easy to watch. So I hope these tips help. I'd really love to hear from you, what you do, things that work for you. And if you do try this and it works for you, let me know in the comments below. But for now, I want to say thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.